My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
All right, welcome to, I don't even know what day we're on, the Australian Open, but we're coming to the end of week 1. 8 or 9, something like that. I feel like a lot has happened in the last couple of days. I don't know about you all, but my bracket has completely fallen apart.
I actually think my bracket has completely fallen apart. I think it started falling apart as soon as Zheng went out, so I think after that it sort of just all went out the window. I definitely did not have Davidovich-Fokina making the 4th round. I can tell you that now. And if anyone had Davidovich-Fokina making the 4th round, then fair enough, because I don't think many people had that.
Yeah, I don't think I had him beating Mensik.
Or it would have been rude, because or even it would have been OJ Aliassim. I put him.
I had him beating Felix, unfortunately.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Okay. But I did not have him beating Mensik. So yeah, that was a surprise. And he's played a lot of 5-set matches.
There has been loads of 5-setters this tournament.
Yes.
I don't know how many, but must be near 30 now. I think the record's 37, which was Wimbledon just gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't have Rune, Mickelson, Monfils, Shelton, Sonego, Tien, Lehecka, Davidovich-Fokina. I had none of those in my 4th round bracket. So,
yeah, I don't think anyone. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think I had anyone really, except for like Sinner and Alcaraz and De Minaur. None of these guys were in my 4th round. I think for me the biggest surprise of all of these is Mickelson.
Not Tien.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know who he was until that match against Medvedev. He wasn't really on my radar.
Right.
But
Okay.
Just from watching, from the past year, I didn't expect Mickelson to make this kind of run.
Yeah, I didn't see him making this sort of leap in quality over a couple months. It's been seriously impressive. And I didn't think at 38, Gael Monfils would still be producing magic.
Oh my God! Did either of you see his match last night?
I actually did not.
It was crazy. I saw the highlights.
Oh gosh. Okay, it was on at a good time for me, so I watched it. I was driving home from work last night, which is about a 45-minute commute, and I had it on like my phone as a television in my car because I was like, "There's no way I can miss this." I think it was like right after the first set. And I watched the whole thing. It was magical. It was kind of like vintage Monfils, and he just everything he did worked. He was just painting the lines of the court. Had Taylor running for his life at every moment, and I don't even think Taylor Fritz was playing poorly. It was just that everything Monfils did was working. He could do no wrong. So that was a stunner. And I don't really know, who does he play next? He plays Shelton. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, I
really
mean,
don't.
Genuinely, that is for me anyway, that's like a 50-50 split. I genuinely think either could. Just maybe it might finally catch up to him that Monfils is 38 and that he's played Like, he's now played for he's played 2 weeks in a row without a break, because obviously he won the title in
Brisbane? Auckland.
Brisbane. No. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It was Brisbane or Auckland.
Yeah. He won the title in Auckland, and then that was obviously the week before the AO, and then has made it to the second week of the AO without playing. Maybe it might catch up to him, especially if Shelton like takes the first set or like pushes it to 5. But it'll be close, I can tell you that.
Definitely.
It'll be a very entertaining match as well. Whoever's got tickets to that, I'm very jealous of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just looking ahead of today's matches on the men's side. I think it's going to be a good night. We've got Davidovich and Tommy Paul, and then Alcaraz Draper and Humbert and Zverev tonight, and then Djokovic and Lehecka at midnight for me.
I think Paul comes through his match quite easily. I mean, I don't really know, because I've been writing off Davidovich Fokina every match that he's played, but I think that Paul has looked really good this AO. Draper and Alcaraz, I'm staying silent on because I'll come up with a biased opinion. And Humbert, Zverev, I think Zverev actually looks the best in the tournament at the moment.
Don't curse this.
No, I'm just saying he looks the best in the tournament at the moment.
Ugh.
But we all know that he'll get in his own way in the semi-final and lose like 2 sets to love and a double breakup or something like that.
My one parting thought for Taylor Fritz was, with Taylor Fritz out of the tournament, no one will be around to beat Zverev.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
who's going to be there to beat Zverev?
Who's going to be there? Fritz is the only one who has been successful at that, really. I mean, Carlos Alcaraz has also beaten him in Grand Slam final, but Zverev cannot solve the problem that is Taylor Fritz.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Fantastic. So I'm a little sad about that, because now I don't know who could stop him.
Yeah.
And I don't care about being biased. I really very much do not want him in the final of any tournament ever.
No, I'm not saying I want him in the final. I'm just saying he is looking the most imperious on a tennis court at the moment.
Yeah.
Hasn't dropped a set, and looks.
I think he's had an easy draw.
He has.
I don't think he has 100%. Run into anyone difficult yet.
You could say the same for Sinner, technically.
Yeah.
But he has dropped a set.
That's true.
That's my main argument. That was weird. When I saw even though he came through the other 3 fine, I was like, that is a little chink that everyone in the armor that everyone needs to look at and go, right, well, whether it was a blip or something, there's still something to work on from there. That must be the first set Sinner's dropped in because he didn't drop out a set in the entirety of the ATP finals, did he? So
no, he didn't. Did he? Oh, he did in Australia last year because of that final.
Oh, well, yeah, the final. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to see any of the women's matches last night because they were on at like 2:00 in the morning for me.
I unfortunately watched Raducanu Świątek before I went to bed.
Oh, I caught the first set. That was still in the afternoon.
I don't really want to talk about it.
It was a bit.
I mean,
depressing.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, right? I think Raducanu summed up perfectly. Raducanu didn't play well, and Świątek played lights out. And when you put those two together, it was not great.
Raducanu didn't see. I watched the first set and then I turned it off because I was like, nothing's happening here. And then I'm just looking at the scoreline now. I didn't realize that she only won a single game the entire match. That is painful. And she actually looked pretty decent leading up to it.
Yeah, and that's the positives that Raducanu has to take from this week. That she's looked good in she's beat 2 top 35 players, and Anisonomova is a better than a top 35 player, you could say, when she's on song. So that's definitely two big positives. But I mean, I think Swiatek made like 2 unforced. Well, it says 12, but it looked like watching the entire match, she made like 2 unforced errors. Like, it was crazy. She was playing so good, and Raducanu was just not. So moving on swiftly from that, I think is the main. Yeah.
Am I bigger on Alcaraz or Draper? Draper. Gotta go Draper. Back to Brits.
In the least biased way possible, it's got to be Draper in 5, right? Coming from 2 sets to 1 down, like from the brink again, just for I mean, it being quite funny.
In odds, yes.
I mean, he's just.
If Draper wins this in a 5-setter,
I might lose my mind if he does, but you know, that's okay. But the biggest game tomorrow night, well, tonight, I guess, is Djokovic-Lehecka. Djokovic gave Mahac a bit of a destructive talking to, in a sense. I mean, Mahac didn't play well, but he really was just taken to the cleaners by Djokovic. So I wonder if it's going to be the same outcome against Lehecka.
I really don't know. I just can't even talk about Djokovic, really. Whatever. Anyway.
Okay, and moving swiftly on.
So of the 2 women's matches last night that I did not get to see, Keys and Collins, Svitolina and Paolini, I really wish that I had woken up for the Svitolina-Paolini match. It looked fantastic. I saw some of the highlights. And that final set, an absolute bagel for Svitolina for the win. I wish so much I had seen it. I'm so happy that she got through. I really like Jasmine Paolini, but I love seeing Svitolina play well, and she's just so good at coming back from a set down. So I think we should play next.
Sorry. I just think on a hard court that Paolini doesn't hold the same power that she does on a grass court or on a clay court, which is crazy to think because obviously they're so different. But it's not like Alcaraz, but in the same way that Alcaraz is a lot more dominant on clay or grass than he is on a hard court. And I feel like Paolini just style of play doesn't quite work as well as it does on a hard court. Which is why Svitolina has obviously got the win. And also Svitolina almost looks like, well, Monfils and Svitolina almost like they're gaining energy off of each other, and they're just playing so well together. So that's really nice to see. That is really nice to see, yeah.
I was really disappointed when my other favorite tennis couple, Alex de Minaur and Katie Boulter, when she went out. I was very sad.
We don't want to talk about it.
I know.
Talk about it, okay?
So I'm just happy that my other favorite tennis couple is playing well and sitting in each other's boxes. I love to see it. Let's talk about Danielle Collins for a second. What did
she
you
was
guys...
Sorry, I was going to say she was my dark horse to win this tournament. So I'm not very happy with her, if I'm honest. Yeah. To win, yes.
To win. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson said that he had Navarro to get to the final, and you have Collins to win the entire thing. Damn, that's.
Who did you have her
against?
I
wouldn't put it past her.
Who did you have in the final with, Collins?
Let me check. I need to get the draw up.
I think I had her getting to the quarters.
Oh, this is the men's. I need the women.
I don't think I had Collins going that far, to be honest. But
I mean, it's difficult because obviously she retired and then won everything. So
I still think she's got a good year in her. I think she'll have a good year.
I predicted Collins going out perfectly. I had Keys versus Collins round 3, and I had Keys going through.
Very nice.
I had her against Sabalenka, I think.
Okay.
Well,
how are you feeling about that now?
Judging me, Fergus.
How are you feeling about that now? Just asking, because I don't
great.
think that will happen. But yeah.
What did you guys think of the big headline with Danielle after her match against the Australian?
I think that this is what makes some tournament. This is what separates tournaments from each other. The crowd is like Wimbledon and AO or US Open, so different. Like in terms of crowds, like etiquette in a sense, or I wouldn't say volume, because I say when Wimbledon is like when a Brit's playing on centre court, it can be just as loud as like.
It's crazy. As someone who has sat on center court when a Brit is playing,
exactly.
It's a lot.
It's the same. But like etiquette, you don't see nearly as much like shouting or like I'm trying to think of the word now. Like I don't know, just like shouting or like getting involved, like in between serves. Like you'd never see at Wimbledon someone booing after you miss a first serve.
No.
Like you wouldn't see that.
I didn't,
I think
and
it's
I mean,
all part of the.
I don't think Wimbledon crowds boo when they're like the opponent of the person they're playing. Like when I saw Andy Murray play, they didn't boo the American that he was playing, even though he won. There wasn't any of that. I did think it was unnecessary of the crowd to do that, and I thought her reaction was pretty just.
No, I think it's so valid. Like
and it wasn't like when Djokovic, did that to the crowd after his match against Rune, where he said like you all are so disrespectful and you're disrespecting me and it's not okay. He was scolding them. She was just like, I don't care, you're paying my bills.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I actually thought that the Australians would find that amusing. I didn't think that when she walked out to her next match, they would boo her and continued to boo her. Then, like, I watched the highlights for her match with Keys, and very few people were even clapping for her when she won points. I thought that was really, I can't swear on here, but it was really messed up.
I do think that is kind of a step too far.
Yeah.
I don't think I condone it, but I guess she's had her more controversial moments in the past. Like, I think it was a while ago before COVID when they used to get the ball kids to bring the towels, and she had a really like off moment with one of them and disrespected them, and there's been a few more instances with her, and I think she's just not that popular in the tennis community. That being said, she's really funny.
I don't think I agree with that. I think she is pretty popular, at least in the tennis circles that I run in. I don't hear anybody saying they dislike her or her behavior. Everyone that I'm aware of is a big fan.
Not so much her being disliked. I'm just saying that she's had her sort of, controversial moments, and it's maybe why people are booing her. Just a guess.
I think it had more to do with that she was playing an Australian woman at the Australian Open. I think that the crowd was just very upset. I think if it had been a different player, that wouldn't have happened. I think they were really just
not even with Keys.
I think because of what happened in her last match is why that happened during her match with Keys. Yeah. But I think if she had been playing someone not from Australia in that original match, I don't think it would have happened, because the crowds historically likes her. In Australia, she was a finalist here against Ash Barty.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't boo her in the Ash Barty match. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I think it just had to do with she was playing a hometown favorite, and the crowd was rowdy, and she maybe made it worse by reacting to it in the way that she did.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing, but like I do think that if it had been anybody else, it wouldn't have happened.
It's like in Roland Garros when there's a French player playing, and whoever you are, if you're not French, you're hated by the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually think the French Open is the worst in this
Oh,
sort
100%.
of circumstance.
French
Like,
fans
I've
are so
watched-
rowdy.
It's like when it was Mote versus Sinner, 4th round of the French Open. Like, it was bad. Or it's not even on like the big courts. It's the small courts that are like, because it's so intimate. Like, if you had like, I don't know, Benoit Paire playing Kokkinakis, the most two random people I can think of right now, on like court 15 of Roland Garros, like Kokkinakis is going to be absolutely hated for the entire match, and it gets so bad at Roland Garros, like worse than the US, Wimbledon, or Australia, 100%.
Yeah. Didn't that happen to Taylor Fritz at the French Open? He was playing a Frenchman and he got booed relentlessly, and he just stood there and like was just like, whatever.
And then he won the match and he shushed everyone, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He did that as he won the match. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it.
I think there are just some players that just bite a bit more than everyone else, and it either makes them renowned for that sort of stuff, or like it drowns them out in a sense. It like makes them play a lot. It makes their level drop considerably. Literally, the two ends of the spectrum is Djokovic. Whoever, when someone gets on his back, seems to just pull out outrageous passes from wherever in the court. And then there's the people that it usually in the non-hometown countries or like rival countries that suffer under that sort of strain and go into their shell a bit. And I think there are just those players are so different. I mean, Holger Rune, I remember in Monte Carlo when he got like I think it was he got like a warning, and then he got like his first serve taken away because he tried to give a bit back to the crowd in 2024 against Medvedev, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but Rune basically started chatting back to the crowd, telling him to shut up, and then he got like defaulted a point or something like that. And I think that's just the sort of reactionary that Holger Rune is. It's just the sort of personality he is. Similar with Medvedev. I think Medvedev, when he gives it back, he's sort of it's just who he is, really.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame Collins is out. I am happy that Madison Keys is still in. I really do like her. I'm hoping that she has a good run. I think she plays Rybakina in her next match. I do think she has a real shot at taking Rybakina out. That'll be interesting.
She is playing really well at the moment, Keys. But she's in a similar position to Monfils, not with age, but as in how she's been playing. She'll be playing for 2 weeks now in a row without a break. So we'll see.
She looked pretty fine injury-wise last night. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. And then tonight on the women's side, we have Sabalenka and Andreeva, Coco Gauff and Bencic, Badosa and I'm not going to say this right, Danilovic.
I think so.
And then Donna Vekic and
Pavlyuchenko.
Chenkova. Thank you. What do we like here?
I favor Sabalenka's odds. Also, Andreeva is playing a doubles match literally like a few hours after she plays Sabalenka. I think it's Paolini and her partner. So
what? Irani? Is it Irani?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't see. I think Sabalenka has too much power for Andreeva on a hard court. Andreeva can obviously produce immense power herself, but I think that Sabalenka can hit through her. And when they played last at Roland Garros, the reason that Andreeva won was, yes, Sabalenka didn't play that well, but on a clay, it's a lot harder to hit through someone. So that's why I think that obviously that was the last result. Well, apart from they played in Brisbane earlier this year. I've just seen that 6-3, 6-2. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if the outcome's pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
Sabalenka's also majorly on form.
Yeah.
And has been for a while.
Yeah, I don't really see anyone even getting a set off of her going forward.
Daniel Collins would
have? Okay, right, sure, yeah. Who do you have as your final, Isabel?
I think I had Sabalenka and Swiatek.
So do you think Sabalenka wins that in straight sets?
Yeah. Yes.
Like
I do have her as my winner.
4-1, like 4-1, or like 6-4?
Probably like 6-4.
Okay.
Yeah, I have her as my winner. I had Jasmine Paolini in my semifinal.
Ooh.
I don't know what to do with that now. So
I think, yeah, I mean, I had Zhang making the semi-final, so
yeah, I had her in the quarters. I also had Pegula in the quarters and Paolini. So 3 of my picks have been knocked out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we land with that. I don't think I expected Badosa to get this far. It seems like she had some trouble in her last match, but
yeah,
she got through okay.
She did. I mean, Kostyuk versus Badosa is like a elite matchup, like top 20, top 15 sort of matchup. That's like exactly what you want to see. High quality, sort of big hitting, and it really changed like throughout the match. But Badosa obviously came through. I think Kostyuk just hit too many unforced errors when it came down to the big points, unfortunately.
I like Coco's chances in this match against Belinda Bencic.
Yeah, especially on a hard court.
Yeah.
I think Bencic, obviously she played Osaka 2 days ago, and then Osaka obviously had to.
Yeah, I watched that match. And it was odd because Naomi was still playing, not, I guess, super solid, but she made it all the way to 6-6 before retiring, and or I guess she retired after the tiebreak. But she was still striking the ball pretty well, considering, I guess it was just she was in a lot of pain, and that was not gonna get any better. Really, really depressed me to see that, because she played so well against Mukova. I just was thinking, the old Naomi lives. This is fantastic. Like, I'm so happy to see her back. I really hoped for like a deeper run from her. So it does give me hope for, the rest of the season. If she can recover from that injury, she clearly still has, something in her. She still has that ball striking ability. So
yeah, well, this is the thing. She's put enough of a run in that I'm just checking rankings quickly, that she's now, hold on, sorry. She's now 42 in the world.
Great.
And that's enough to put you in all the big tournaments without having to go through qualifying or anything like that. So and it's a similar position to Raducanu, I guess, is that she'll be in position to play all the 1000s without having to go through any trouble. And then that's like 11 tournaments sorted, plus all the 3 other Grand Slams of the year left. That's 14 tournaments, and then take your pick of the 500s. So she's in the position to know what her schedule will be without having to throw in the odd 250 and it get awkward about like where her ranking is. So I think she's done enough in this sense that she's put herself in the position to have a really good season going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this other match, Vekic and Pavlyuchenkova. I fancy Vekic in this. I think she'll take it pretty easily.
I mean, Pavlyuchenkova has a 2-love head-to-head record. They played last year at the US Open, and she won 6-4, 6-4.
I'm putting faith on Pam Shriver's girl.
I do agree with you. I see Vekic coming through this quite not easily, I would say, but coming through it in straight sets.
She needs to just have a strong start, and I think she'll be fine. Was it against Harriet Dart that she went down in the first set?
She was 4-love down in the first set and then lost it 6-4. And then still lost it 6-4. So she pulled it back, but like not enough in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Vekic will just have too much for Pavlyuchenkova. And then Badosa Danilovic. I think Badosa in 2, maybe.
I don't know enough about Danilovic to say.
I've only watched her once, and that was in qualifying for Roland Garros last year. I think anyway.
She's ranked 55 in the world.
Might not have been. I might just be lying to you guys. The last time they played was 2019. So a 17-year-old Danil, you know who I'm talking about. A 17-year-old beat a 21-year-old Badosa 6-4, 7-5. So I guess that's something to go off. But that's 2019. That's a long time ago.
Looking ahead to, I guess, tomorrow. Let's see, Navarro and Kasatkina. Could be interesting. I didn't expect Navarro to get through on Jabeur. That was a good match.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't think Navarro would have it in her, but apparently she did. She's been really not scrappy, but she's scrapped in a lot of these matches, Navarro, that she's played in this tournament so far. I mean, first round against Stearns, I thought she was going out. I mean, Stearns obviously served for it. But again, she came through and she showed a lot of fight. And I guess that's what it is to be a top 10 player. But I think Kasatkina will come through mainly because I have Kasatkina coming through this match on my draw, so on my bracket. So.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That would be cool for Kasatkina. I do like her.
I like her too.
And then Svitolina is playing Kudermetova. Wait, is that the what? Did she take out Katie Bolter? Is that?
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it. Any chance to just it's really just
sorry.
That's okay.
I am a Katie Bolter fan. I want to make that clear. I like her a lot. I'm rooting for her. She was my dark horse.
Yeah, she made the quarterfinals in my draw, so I don't want to talk about it.
So I can safely assume that you are rooting for Svitolina in that match.
Just hate Kudermetova now.
They've met twice before. A little while ago, Kudermetova won both.
Well, Kudermetova used to be ranked like 9, I think, a long while ago, and then when she was a lot younger, and then sort of dropped off, I think.
Yeah, she's come back to the scene, similar to Svitolina, actually.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. but I think it's the one thing that did surprise me about Kudermetova, especially against, because the only time I've seen her play is against Bolter. Yeah. And I just didn't. I thought Bolter would. Yeah, Kudermetova was ranked 9th in the world in 2022. I just didn't. I thought Bolter would be all over the serve because it didn't look like it had much going for it, but clearly it's accurate enough that it causes problems. But I think if she has a bad serving day, Svitolina could get all over that second serve and it come a bit too much for Kudermetova to handle, especially with the power that Svitolina holds.
Oh, I'm actually looking at my round of 16 bracket, and I actually only missed a couple of picks. I actually had Kazatkina getting through, and Paula Badosa. I don't remember picking Paula Badosa for round of 16, but apparently I did.
You don't have to say that. You could have just gone, yeah, obviously I knew Badosa was going to come through.
I'm not good at lying, so...
Yeah, I've only got 9 out of 16 right. So on the women's side, I always feel as though the women's side is always going to be a lot more open. You see more upsets early on in big tournaments than the men's side, but I almost think it's been the other way around this year. The men's side, there's been loads of seeds. There were loads of seeds dropped out early. I mean, 3 top 10 players in the first 2 rounds. And obviously Fritz has gone now as well. So it's Rude. It kind of set it up when Tsitsipas lost to Mikkelsen on the first day. Yeah, it kind of just set everything up to be like, well, I wonder how these big seeds are going to come on. And then obviously it seems that Fonseca sort of ignited the fire for all these teenagers to sort of just start dumping out big players. But yeah. Looking at my men's draw, I still have Tommy Paul and Zverev as a quarterfinal, which could still happen. That could still happen, and I think that will happen unless Humbert plays amazing.
Let's hope that he does. Let's really, really rooting for him on that one. Does anyone have a favorite moment of the tournament so far?
One of Jack Draper's 5 setters, surely.
Which one?
Which one? Take your pick.
Exactly.
There's going to be another one tonight, so you should pick that one. I'm predicting it right now.
You really think that's going to go 5 sets?
That moment when Jack Draper beats Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, in straight sets, 1, 1, and 2. I think it has to be that shot from Botic van der Sandschulp, the tweener winner. Outrageous.
I got to see that happen live. That was great.
Crazy. How you even managed to think about having the audacity to do that on Rod Laver against an Aussie. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that was probably my favorite moment, my favorite match so far to watch. I'm not sure. Maybe Medvedev Tien. That was really good to watch.
I wish I'd been able to see more of that. It was on so late here, like 3 o'clock in the morning, but it went so long. When I woke up the next day to go to work at 6, it was still on.
Yeah.
And so I did get to see the final, the 10-point tiebreak. I did get to see that. That was very cool. I don't want to sound like a bandwagoner, but I have been such a Monfils fan for so long.
Yeah.
Most of my conscious tennis life, I have loved Gael Monfils. He's always been a favorite of mine. And last night's match was so good, not just because he won, but like the quality from both players was so fun to watch that him as a whole might be my favorite of the tournament. And his little dance at the end when he won was so cute. I loved it. It was great. So that might be mine.
I don't think there's anyone that doesn't like Gael Monfils. I mean, if you don't like Gael Monfils, I mean, like, what are you doing, really? I mean, you're hanging off a guy that's just amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Sinner Rune. Plainly because I actually kind of want Sinner to take Rune to the cleaners, because I feel like someone needs to knock him down a peg, because I find him really arrogant and annoying, just as a personal preference.
He is. I mean, it's not even a preference. He just is.
I know, but
So,
like,
who is?
Rune.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that about Sinner as well.
No, but
No.
like, Sinner's more humble about it. Like, he may be. I'm not going to get into the doping stuff. He like, Rune is like obsessively screaming like when he like wins points, and I'm like, it's not necessary. After like his opponent buries a forehand into the net, like he's not done anything. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of Rune, but
If we're gonna compare
like
the
3-3-2.
egos of the two of them, I don't think it's even a contest.
No.
No, I mean Sinner actually deserves to have an ego with
Yeah.
two Grand Slams under his belt, plus ATP finals, and like when he celebrates, he really just goes like, yeah, like it's just.
It's like Rebecca. Like,
yeah, like
cool.
There's no
That was
screaming,
cool,
there's
guys.
no release.
Thanks.
Like
Thanks for
you
coming
can't compare the two of them.
It's like when he won the Oz Open last year. Like he actually took a second before he went out on the floor. Like he didn't like collapse in like astonishment. It's like he like put it on for everyone watching.
Yeah, he's like,
okay,
oh,
guys,
I have to act like this is.
This does mean something to me, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
Well,
and in that it would have been like such a relief, after a 5-setter final. Like it would have been a relief for him to like have some kind of celebration. I feel like his celebration made a little more sense. The U.S. Open, an easy straight set win, just being like, yep, did it.
Cool, guys. Cool. It's like
me.
I will always remember when Rebecca won Wimbledon and literally just did this. And they just walked off like nothing had happened.
Casual Sunday.
You've literally just won the biggest tournament in tennis, and you've just gone, cool, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's just elite Rebecca mentality right there.
Yeah. I think the Lerner Tien and Sonego match will be really fun. I didn't expect, of all the Italians that I had in my draw, I did not expect Sonego to get through. Nothing on him, of course. I just figured it would be Musetti, but I think this will be interesting. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that and actually watch Lerner Tien in real time.
I mean, what an opportunity for Tien to make a Grand Slam quarterfinal on his debut of a Grand Slam. Like, I doubt, apart from we see Medvedev, you won't play a worse version of the Medvedev that was playing that day. Medvedev hadn't played in months, and he'd just played a long 5-setter. Like, Medvedev will be fresher than that every single time you play him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So you get past that, and then he won't get a better run in a Grand Slam for another year or two. Like, an opportunity to make a quarter, like, without a doubt.
Definitely.
So, big opportunity for him. And then, he'll either have Shelton or Monfils for a semi-final spot. So, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, are we seriously getting ahead of us? I mean, I think sort of Tien's sort of like taken away the Fonseca sort of like bandwagon in a sense. Everyone was like, Fonseca's going to make the quarters of the tournament and be
Okay,
like,
I don't mean to sound like a hater, but I was not. I felt like the odd man out of this Fonseca business because like I didn't have him even getting through like the second round, and everyone was talking like, oh, Fonseca, he's the next thing, and like he's gonna get all the way to the whatever, and I was like, I don't think so, and I hate to say I told you so.
I mean, people were actually
so.
claiming he would be in the top 10 by the end of the year.
No,
I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I think he top. What's he ranked now? Like
98. 98.
Oh, he's gonna be top 30 for sure.
Maybe.
For sure.
Maybe.
Maybe top 50, but
so
you heard it here
he'll be
first.
seeded for next year's AO. He'll be seeded for next
Yes.
year's AO. Maybe. Our push. Top 50, I think. Ends the year like 42.
Yeah, I would say top 50 is more likely.
You can't beat Rublev and then lose to Sonego in 5 and expect to be seeded for the next AO. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. Well, it might be, but like if it is, I'll be really surprised. But you know, anyway, moving on.
We do have so many Americans in this men's draw 4th round, and none of them are Fritz. It is so odd. I feel I've gotten so used to him just being around.
I feel like I'm gonna take a bit of a hit because I've kind of, for the last like week, I've been like, I don't get this Shelton hype, and then he's like the biggest standing American left, and I'm kind of like, well. But I mean, he did play well against Musetti. I'll give him that, but I don't know. He needs like a big performance, like a top, like. Does he actually have a? He surely does. Does he have a top 10 win? I would think he does, but does he actually?
I can't pull one off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's no memorable top 10 win that I can think of.
He played Casper Ruud and he won in straight sets.
When was that?
What was that? Western and Southern Open in 2022.
Is that the only one?
That's the only one that's coming up right now.
Well, that's what I mean. As in, like, for me to be convinced that he's gonna be better than Fritz, I need him to beat like Zverev or even Medvedev, or I need him to beat one of the top 4, or even Fritz. I need him to beat Fritz, and then I'll be convinced that he's gonna be bigger.
I don't think he could beat Sinner right now. Fritz maybe, Medvedev maybe, but not Sinner.
I don't think he beats Zverev, Alcaraz, or Sinner.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
No.
Shelton has a 5-12 win-loss record against players who were at the time ranked in the top 10. First one was Casper Ruud at Cincinnati, and then Francis Tiafoe at the U.S. Open 2023. That was
never been a top 10 player.
No, he was ranked 10 at the time.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that one's on me. Sorry.
Don't tell me Francis has never been a top 10 player. Don't say that about my boy.
Player? Like, am I crazy?
He also beat Jannik Sinner at Shanghai in 2023. Yeah, who was ranked 4 at the time. Beat, I don't know if this counts because it was the Laver Cup, but he did beat Medvedev at the Laver Cup.
As an exhibition, doesn't count.
Does count.
And he beat Rublev at the Swiss indoors. So yeah, he's got 5 top 10 wins over the course of the last 4 years. Yeah, so this is you never know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
If
well,
he plays well.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be.
Fergus is not convinced.
I'm not convinced. No, I need him to be. I need a top 5 win. I need a top 5 win. I'm changing my answer.
Do you need me to pull that back up and tell you which one of those players was top 5?
Was one? I don't think one of them was.
Yeah, what about? Oh God, now I gotta
Casper
find it
Ruud?
again.
Was he?
Was Rube? Oh yeah, Rube must have been 3 in 2022, wasn't he?
Hang on, I'll pull it back up again.
Medvedev, surely.
Okay, Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, okay.
Sinner was top 5 at the time he beat him.
Okay, fine.
So he has 3
Okay,
top 5 players.
I'm convinced. Okay, guys, I'm convinced.
That took a lot.
I'm convinced. Okay, guys, he will be bigger than Fritz, if that's what you want me to say. He will be bigger than Fritz.
No, I don't think he'll be bigger than Fritz because I think Fritz is.
Can't let me do all that and then go, nah, he won't be.
Let me explain. I was really only trying to defeat you with facts. I wasn't just trying to defeat your opinion. Oh gosh. I don't think he'll be bigger than Fritz because Fritz is just extremely consistent. Yesterday's match aside, he's very consistent in how he plays and who he beats. I mean, the fact that he beats Zverev almost every single time they meet is crazy, and like not a lot of people can beat Zverev that easily. So I think Taylor Fritz's consistency is his biggest weapon, and Ben Shelton just doesn't have that quite yet, and he could get there.
What did you say his record was? Sorry, 5 and 12.
5 and 12.
He has the exact same record as Draper against top 10 opponents. It's funny.
I'd love to see a Draper Shelton match. That would be insane.
Have they played each other before?
I don't think so.
No, maybe in juniors, like ages ago.
Oh, probably.
They've played each other in doubles before in Montreal earlier this year when it was Draper and Sinner and Bublik and Shelton. But apart from that,
Yeah, wow, they've never seen each other in singles. That's
crazy.
That's wild. And they're both lefties. That would be fun to see.
They are
two big serving lefties. There you go. That'd be a great match.
What more could you want?
Yeah. Why isn't that the AO final? Now everyone wins then. Well, I mean, the 3 of us win, but apart from that, yeah. Anyway, moving on from that Shelton rant. What were we been talking about before that? I've completely lost my train of thought. Demonor, best opportunity. I'm not rattled. Demonor's best opportunity to get to the AO quarterfinal against Mickelson. I think Mickelson's been playing obviously some really good tennis, but I think Demonor would just be too good. And especially last year, Demonor played Rublev in the 4th round and lost in 5 after being like 2 points away from victory or something, and then like got bageled in the final set.
Yeah,
rough.
I worry about Demonar going up against the big servers, just because I don't think he can really match power. Not that that's necessary to go up against a power server, but that worries me slightly.
I'm gonna do the same logic that you just did to me.
Okay.
Demonor's
and
the
pull,
best.
and pull up Demonar's record against big
Demonor
servers.
is the best returner on tour.
I don't disagree.
Like,
I don't
full
disagree
stop.
with that. Okay.
So, like, as in, like, statistically, is the best returner on tour. So I don't think that's like.
I mean, I would argue that Medvedev is the best returner on tour.
I would argue that Djokovic is the best returner.
Guys, statistically, I said Demonor is the best returner on serve. But I also do agree with
are
you,
you
Rachel.
referring to?
I'm referring to the ATP website 2024 that said that for the year Demonor was the best returner on tour.
Okay.
That's my reference. But I also do agree with Rachel that Djokovic is the best returner on serve.
Absolutely. You can't even argue that.
Mainly because it was like, I don't know the year, it was like 2012, and like it was Isner Djokovic in like Indian Wells, and Djokovic was like standing firmly on the baseline, just returning first serves from Isner. I mean, how many people can say they've done that? Like, one, and it's Djokovic. So
the thing that I always worry about with Alex de Minaur, and like, listen, he's been a long time favorite of mine. I always root for him. I want him to do well. I would love to see him in an Australian Open semi or final. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he has a weapon that he can use against players at going into the fourth round quarterfinals. I don't think he has a something, he doesn't have a big serve. He's not super aggressive. He's great. He's really fast. He's a good returner, but I worry about him at this stage because I think that's been his downfall in the past.
So I've just got it up here. Last year, top 3 returners was de Minaur, then Alcaraz, then Sinner, then Djokovic 4, then actually Paul at 5. 45.4% of break points converted, so that's almost half of the break points that he won converted. With Alcaraz down at 42%, so that's nearly a 3% split between. So, I mean,
but when you look at his like head-to-heads with players like Alcaraz, Sinner, and Zverev,
yeah,
he doesn't have it to get through those matches.
Yeah,
it's not enough to be a good returner. At like once you're in the fourth round or the quarterfinals, you have to have that extra thing, and I don't think he has one. And I hate to say that because I like him so much. I want to see him do well, but when you compare him to the guys he has to actually face at this stage of a tournament, in the second week of a tournament, I don't see it.
I'm just looking up his record against like the top 3 or top 5 at the moment, I guess. If you just give me 2 seconds. Okay, against the top 3, he's 9-0 against 0-9 against Sinner. Yeah. He's 0-2 against Alcaraz, and he's 2-8 against Zverev.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you make it.
I feel like that backs up what I just said.
Yeah, I'm saying you're making a good point. Okay, against Fritz, who's obviously a big server, it's 5-5.
That makes sense. I do think he and Fritz are evenly matched because of their consistency ability. Because Fritz is also a really good returner, and he's gotten a lot better over the last 2 years. So. Yeah, and I do think de Minaur can come through this matchup against Mickelson because I do think he just has more experience at this stage of a tournament than Mickelson does, and obviously crowd will be for him. Who would he face in the quarterfinal? I think Sinner. I think I had him against Sinner in the quarters. Yeah, and I hate to say it, he has no chance against Sinner.
I mean, he's 9-0.
Yeah, if he won against Sinner, that would be just insane.
I genuinely think the Australia might have a national holiday if Sinner beats Sinner.
Oh yeah, that would be the biggest win of his career.
I'm just looking at you said big server in Mickelson. Not that I'm trying to tear apart your argument, but I'm just trying to do what you did to me.
Way back.
Mickelson is not in the top 50 on biggest servers or best servers on the ATP tour.
I didn't say he had the best.
Oh no, sorry, no, he is 42. He is 47.
You're like, I'm gonna take down your argument and then fail to do so.
It's just a bit of revenge. Really. And it's just a bit of revenge, really. That's really it. That's all I'm trying to do.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, case closed. Because
that's all I really know about Mickelson is that he can hit the serve hard.
No, I think he's got a big forehand. And when I watched him at the Next Gen ATP, he was good. He was crushing his forehand, but
his backhand is also insane. He's got his all-round ground stroke game is insane.
Yeah, I think he's got pretty good movement as well for a guy. I don't know how tall he is. I think he's a pretty tall guy, isn't he? But I think he's got good movement considering his size. But I think that's something that he could.
6'4".
He's 6'4". Well, there you go. But that's definitely something you can work on. Like if you look at Medvedev's movement with how tall he is, Medvedev's got insane movement. So that's something to work on. But yeah. Do you think Mickelson will have a better career than Fritz?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, but like, what do you count as better
mostly
career?
because he doesn't have a girlfriend like Morgan Riddle.
Okay, if that's your standard, then like we could be here for hours. Like,
no, I think no, I don't know of which of the like next generation of like young American male players. I don't know which one of them could potentially like take the torch from Fritz. I think it's impossible to say, and like there's so many new ones popping up, and they're all obviously great. I mean, yeah. So I don't know, but I once again, like I think Fritz's biggest thing that he has over all the other Americans that he played that are on his team, Mickelson, Shelton, whomever, even Tommy Paul, like he just is consistent. He can put out the same game all the time, and like nothing really changes for him, and he's just been able to like build a game that can get him to this like stayed second week of tournament, and the other guys just don't have that same ability. Like they just make weirder choices, I guess. I don't know, and I don't really know what he's doing with his camp, with his team, like to have that. I would be interested to hear him talk about it, but no, I don't really see it quite yet. I don't think Shelton, at least not anytime soon.
The thing that makes this thing, thing that makes the like who's going to be the next like best American. Obviously, Fritz has had a great career, but looking at it on paper and only on paper, it's definitely not like a huge task to like for someone else to come in. I mean, Indian Wells is his biggest title, which is obviously a huge title, but like, and then at number 4 in the world and a US Open final, like obviously he's still got loads of time in his career and he'll obviously achieve a lot more than that, I hope, for Fritz. But if it stays that those are his 3 biggest achievements, you wouldn't say it's an impossible task for someone else to come in and like either Mickelson or Tien to come in and overtake that sort of landmark in a sense.
I don't think it's impossible. I just don't see it for maybe the next like 5 years. Yeah.
If anyone, it would be Shelton, I think.
Probably.
How old is Fritz?
I think he's 27, 28.
Yeah.
He's about my age. I mean, every year my hopes are thwarted for Seb Korda. I really injury, like just
after injury.
I really do believe like he has so much talent. He has so much more than someone like Fritz in terms of like natural ability. Like he's a great returner. He has a good serve. He's so quick on the court. Like it frustrates me so much that he has not found the right rhythm, the right weapon, the consistency. It's not there, and I really want it to be, because I really do think he could be the number 1 American if he could just find it. I don't know what needs to happen in his life to get there, but like there are all like tennis pundits who agree with me. They're like, what? Why can't Seb Korda figure this out? He's so good. So I don't know.
I think he just needs one season, even if he plays like 15 tournaments for the entire year, even if he literally sticks to Grand Slams, Masters, that's it. he needs to stay fit for an entire season, and I guess playing Washington to defend his title. Otherwise, that's 500 points gone down the drain, which is like, we know how that feels. Dan Evans lost 500 points. We're not going to talk about it.
Don't even talk about Dan Evans right now.
Okay, we're not talking about it.
Dan Evans is a touchy subject.
Yeah, it's real. But like, moving on. If he plays just the Masters and the Grand Slams, and obviously that tournament in Washington, even if he just needs to get through a year of fitness on tour, and then I'm sure he'll break. Because what's his highest rank? Like 19, 18?
I think it was top 20 because he had a really good run at Australia, like 2-3 years ago. I think he got to round of 16 or quarterfinals. He went down to Kachanov because he got injured.
15 is his highest ranking. So he'll get back to that. I think he's 22 now in the world. I mean, it's crazy that he's managed to drop 7 positions after playing like 4 tournaments for the entirety of last year. Like, that's crazy to me. But if he just spends the entire year on tour, not injured, I'm sure he'll get up to where he needs to be in terms of potential. And I really hope for his sake that he does, because I agree with you that he has the rawest amount of talent. I think he is a better player than Shelton, as you guys have clearly heard after me just not liking Shelton.
Shelton's improving. Like, his ground stroke game has gotten so much better. But yeah, Seb still has like the most raw talent, and it's just not clicking. Like, I'm even just looking at his 2 matches that he played here this season, at this Australia. Like, it's just such a weird scoreline. Like, his first match was 6-3, and then he lost the second set 6-love, and then played a tiebreak in the 4th. And it was just like, what are you doing? What's happening here? And then he played I don't think I've ever seen him in the last like 4 years play a straight set match. Like, he played 5 sets in the second round. It's just ridiculous. Pull yourself together.
It's that easy. I actually might go out there and like go, Corda, let's play 5 sets, and I'll nick 2 off you just so you can like get through. I don't think he's obviously not trying to make it 5 sets. It seems like a lot of players in this tournament are like, they're just almost like they're playing for 5 sets, as in like, let's make it 5 sets, just to make it interesting. And it's quite painful. Medvedev was definitely one. Draper is definitely another. Davidovich Fokina, definitely. Humbert. Like, there's been so many 5-setters, it's been crazy. But I think Korda just needs to stay. I think almost a win and then a second round long match was almost good for him. Even though he lost, is almost a good thing for him. He played a match, he won, he ran it close in the second match, especially with the way that Vukic was playing against Draper. If he played anywhere near that against Korda, I'm sure that Korda was still playing absolutely fine. It's just that Vukic produced a whole nother level. Now just forget about it. Play one tournament in February, whether it's Acapulco or Dubai or like Rotterdam or whatever, and then just focus on the Sunshine Double. Just take it a month at a time. Don't get injured, and then get through to next year. If it's that easy,
just don't get injured.
Just don't get injured.
How hard can it be?
Hire a new physio.
How hard can it be? As someone who played tennis for 3 months this year, in the past year, and injured her wrist immediately and had to quit. Like, how hard can it be?
You're not a good example for this situation, but like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to get more Toglu on his team. That seems to work for a lot of people.
It works for like no one. It's like he's such a good coach, but as soon as anyone picks him up, they either have a big falling out or they get injured.
He pays more attention to Instagram Reels, that's why.
100%. He focuses on some like 13 or it was like some 8-year-old serving on his courts in like the background. He's like, wow, he's so good. Let's focus on him. Anyway.
Well, I do think Korda just needs maybe like a coaching change that's just gonna like, I don't know, shake things up.
A complete like a complete flip, like get.
Oh, I
like,
think
clear
that
it
happened.
out, and
That
then-
happened to Sinner, right? Like as soon as he got with Cahill,
Yeah.
he was like kind of a different guy.
Yeah, different sort of machine.
Yeah.
Like, well, he quite literally is a machine at the moment, but it's like, yeah, I see Sinner having pretty much the exact same year on tour, in my opinion.
Probably. Yeah.
Plays really well in Indian Wells, but Alcaraz always looks really good at Indian Wells, so loses to Alcaraz. Wins Miami again. Has a pretty like steady clay season, but doesn't win anything. Wins Haller on the grass again, but then loses in like the semi-finals at Wimbledon, and then dominates for the rest of the year again. I can see it happening literally on repeat until someone produces a massive level in a three-setter. If someone can produce consistent, if someone has a big breakout year that's sitting at like sort of like 8 to 17 right now, and can produce a consistent level, then maybe someone can take him out in 3 sets in like one of the big tournaments that isn't Alcaraz or Zverev. But apart from that, I just can't see anyone just not having a repeat of the same year that Sinner had last year.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, it's 4:20 where I am. I think play at this Australian Open is set to start. I don't know.
Some doubles matches has 2 doubles matches have started, but
yes,
the singles matches don't start till in 10 minutes from now. So.
Yeah. So
it's time to get some sleep, like 3
yes,
hours a bit before
what
Draper.
what time is it for you guys?
20 past 12.
20 past midnight.
Okay, well, are you both gonna get up to watch Draper?
My alarm is set for 5 to get up for Draper.
I'm not that ambitious.
It says 4:30 that it's like estimated to start, but like never starts on time. So
Yeah, you'll like get up at 5, check and see if it's on.
and he'll already be 2 sets up, and I'll be like, great, I'll go back to bed.
The match will actually be over.
Over in 25 minutes, over, finished. Alcaraz was just missing everything, and Draper cruises through, and I just go back to bed happy. That's exactly what I'm expecting to wake up to.
Nice.
So it's 4 in the afternoon for you guys.
Yes.
So
Play
will you
starts at 4:30.
stay up for like an amount? Well, I mean, stay up. I mean, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. It's not like you are going to bed.
I mean, I'll watch the Draper Alcaraz match because that's scheduled to start at 8:30 here. So I can tune in for that. I don't think I'll be staying up tonight because I don't care to watch Zverev and I don't care to watch Djokovic. So I won't be watching that. But on the women's side, is there anything I want to see?
Andriy Sabalenka, but
Everything's happening in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Here, so I think actually tonight I'll be able to sleep, and I actually have Monday off of work, so tomorrow I'll be able to get up at crazy hours.
Perfect.
So that'll be good.
I was really hoping Draper was last on Rod Laver, so it'd be like 9 a.m. in the morning for us, and that'd be really nice, but it's just not. They really put it at the most awkward time. Because if he's first on, that's fine. I'm willing to stay up, but like third on Rod Laver, 4:30 in the morning, like, come on, that's seriously rough. But anyway.
Do you think the crowd will be on Jack's side?
I think they'll be on both, to be honest. I think it'll be quite an even split. I think they like both Draper and especially after the Kokkinakis match, the way that Draper acted, like super gave it back a bit, but like he wasn't like pushing it at all. Like he shows he's just a really like straight up standard guy. Like he's nice. I think there's no hatred there after beating Kokkinakis and Vukic, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be both. And everyone loves Carlos. I mean, if you don't like Carlos, then you're strange.
All right. Well, I hope everyone out there enjoyed our hour and a half long little rant about Ben Shelton, among other things.
Thanks.
Basically.
Thanks for tuning in to me rant about how I kind of think Ben Shelton might be better than Taylor Fritz.
Anyway, I hope everyone enjoys today's 8 or 9 or whatever day we're on with the Australian Open. Please enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, send Talking Tennis to people so that we can get more subscribers so we can keep doing this. It's lots of fun. And yeah, I hope you guys get some sleep before the match.
Thanks. See you later.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.